I'll introduce to you. Some of you might know her already, and we'll basically go about our rest of how what Walkability basically did throughout the month of January last month. So yeah, so Zohra is basically a urban planner, urban designer. I mean, you can stalk her LinkedIn profile. There are way too many things that she does, but what I know about her is she's a really good person to talk to. I really enjoy getting all of the insights that I talk to her, because I mean, it's amazing to learn about the city, urban planning within the city. She is a transport planner. She focuses around transit into development and a lot of other things, and generally has a lot of great ideas about the city's infrastructure. And she is in the same category as us in terms of being sufferer of Stockholm syndrome. So that in Mumbai. Good starting off for the cities. For walking projects Friday night live. So yeah. Hi Zohra.
Hi Vedant. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
As you know, it's an interesting and a topic that we have been speaking on for more than a few decades now. So happy to be still at the same table with the same people and probably talking about the same situation. But let's see if we can move forward from here.
I think the topic is important enough to keep discussing it.
Keep discussing it. We have to be at it. We are nothing if not persistent.
Yes, absolutely.
So I'll just put on the presentation right now. Kind of get started. Yeah. I hope you guys are able to see the presentation, both in the Google as well as online. I don't see any comments as of now. Okay. There is background music.
I think right now it's showing something changing slides. And I see a lot of dogs and cats.
So there is some delay, so you will see it later on.
Okay.
Okay. So now the voice should be much lower. Not lower. It is basic. It should basically gone right now. And you must be seeing the Friday Night Live banner. Yeah. So today mainly we are going to discuss all of these things, starting with BMC budget 2025-2026, and then the universal footpath policy, which there are a few things about that. And on the left hand side, you see my visit to Pune, how it was, what were my findings, then our visit to Indian Institute of Architects, then our couple of meetings with the BMC at K West Ward Office, then BMC Worli Hub, then our interactions with Zohra Park citizens, and annual SV Road walk, obviously, and the Mudde Ki Baat event we actually attended. Uh, so kind of let's starting with this. BMC basically a couple of days ago announced the largest ever budget, 74,000 crore rupees. Uh, I mean, it's, the figure itself is a huge figure to talk about. Uh, Great. Uh, I mean, yeah, I'm just reading your comments. Is the voice audible right now? Am I audible enough? Like, is it loud? Is it not loud?
Where are you able to see the comments on the YouTube channel? I'm not seeing any comments over there. Okay. Yeah, I can.
It is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are audible.
It is good, right? It's not too bad.
I mean, people are saying it is sounding low, but I think Gargi is finally saying you're audible, the PPT is visible.
Yeah.
But the voice volume is very low, can barely hear anything. Iqbal is saying.
Iqbal, is it better now?
Chirag is saying the music is louder than
I shut it off
the.
now. It should be better now.
Okay.
But yeah,
Got it.
no. I mean, the good point is that it's the four of us on the call right now, and there are 7 people watching. So at least the number of people watching is more than the number of people chatting.
That's great. Great start.
Great start. Great start.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, starting over here, 74,000 crore budget and a lot of hopes like every year. And footpaths ke liye, this is one article that we have found ki they have allocated something around 100 crores for the footpath. So over
Can
here,
I
I
just say here the one thing that has completely, I guess, it has it it is amusing to me is the kind of headlines that have come after the budget. Like it's a 74,000 crore budget and 100 crore on footpaths and the 100 crores is a menial, like like हमने 5 जगह पे पेंटिंग कर दिया and that is all. That's literally that's what uh, it'll do. So we either BMC has not understood the gravity of the situation, or the media thinks that this is at least so much has been introduced, so they want to make a big deal about it. Uh,
yeah,
of course, the fact that it has come in the budget, if we are just going to be happy about that, then it's a great thing. But let's face it, 100 crores is going to do nothing.
Also, the point, Zora, which I've been making out is that we keep missing out. We don't do an evaluation of the last budget or the budget before that. There have been
Um,
announcements made in previous budgets, and which, of course, at Walking Project also we want to do more, and that is where we need to strengthen our research. But granularly monitoring how money is spent, and which will come to later on in the discussion also, is, I think, equally important.
Exactly. In fact, there has, as you know, everybody's complaining about the roads being dug up right now. And coincidentally, they are the edges that are being dug up. As they are being concretized, very few footpaths really getting made in those places. Like I was taking a walk in Khar Santa Cruz, and they are just like straight off.
Very small, half a meter also if they're getting
Even
like
that wasn't
concretizing.
there. Even
Even,
that wasn't there.
yeah,
So now there
yeah.
is a level
Mm,
carriageway, and they're parking
mm.
cars on both sides. So now there is no footpath.
And
I
this is
don't
all
know what is what is
money.
worse.
No, 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 this all money wasted, right? So at, I mean, these 100 crore for
Exactly.
footpaths is meaningless. If you've given 1,000 crores for shoulder concretization, then that is all 1,000 crores which should have gone for footpath revitalization or junction improvement,
Absolutely,
one of those
absolutely.
things.
I think that's what think we're missing the point here, and we keep adding these kind of things, that these line items, as if they are different things. They're not different things. We are all part of the same right of way. Within the same right of way, we need good carriageway, we need underground utilities, we need a good footpath. So if you are thinking about it, think of it comprehensively. A lot of budget to a good complete street, or a walkable street, or a happy street, or whatever term you want to use, or a universal street, like they are saying. But footpath is not like a patch up job. It is a part of, it has to be a very integral part of the street. So
2 3 weeks back, I had a discussion with the CEO of Janagra. We were discussing tender sure. In
yes.
that context, we had this similar kind of a conversation. Don't do patch up work at all.
we'll
And
see in
Zora, if
this
you,
presentation itself,
yeah,
when I talk about Pune and all, I mean, some of the streets actually, I remember Zora mentioning the work going on in Pune back then, and I really saw the difference in the approach itself. Now, it is not something ki Pune is out of the world and it is very different, but what they have done is miles better than Mumbai, and I will basically kind of see what it was. Let me, for the time being, kind of transition it away and get back to our presentation for the second thing that we are going to discuss today, which is the universal footpath policy. Uh, yeah. So, yep. I think yeah, this is live. Wait on presentation. Still takes some time to figure out because this is really we're doing it live for basically the first ever time, and yeah. So
Yeah,
universal
yeah.
footpath policy. This we are able to see right now, and there were at- these were the four articles that I found out, and each one it is like something new is discussed, and it is a huge banner and all of those things. But actually, if you check out what the universal footpath policy says, it is not really much. It is actually worse than what was supposed to exist before universal footpath policy.
I wouldn't
Uh,
say it is worse, but it's not much better.
I mean, prior to this, I think 2014 we had the
Pedestrian first policy.
pedestrian first policy, and I think that was in effect. Maybe I don't know if anyone knew that it
It was
existed even
simpler.
in
It was simpler to understand, but it did
yeah,
not say much either. But at least it didn't have all these extra, like the amount of real estate that this policy takes up in talking about tactile pavers. When we know for the fact, we've all seen the photograph that they have put in the policy itself shows a tactile paver going and ending like abruptly in the middle. So it is. I think it's
yeah,
aiming too high without getting your basics right and without getting the foundation right.
yeah. So for anyone who wants to actually read the universal footpath policy, you can find it on our website. Like you can see definitely on this live stream right now. But in general, yeah, I mean, it is. Let's just discuss. I'll just get back to our faces so that the people can relate better to us right now. Stop presenting. I'll get back to this course.
Also, Vedant, let's stick to the time so that
Yeah,
we
yeah.
are already 15 minutes into the.
No, no, this is live stream. This is not a meeting.
I
So
know. No, no, I know, I know.
it's free
But
flowing.
I'm just with just 7, 8 people. I'm just saying it's not. It's almost like a meeting. It's not like half of Bombay is watching us.
It's 11 now.
Okay, it's
Hi
11.
guys,
Fine.
thanks a lot for coming today to watch this for the very first time. Uh,
They'll bear up with our quirks for the time being. They'll be get
yeah,
very professional.
और पैसा भेजो थोड़ा सा so that we can get another dual monitor setup. All of this gets quicker. So yeah, you can donate also on walkingproject.org/donate. We should have a moderator in the live chat who just puts up the link all the time.
Uh, I'll do
Yeah,
it. I'll do it. Let's get back to our.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I mean,
So
universal
I just
footpath
want to
policy.
make one statement about the universal footpath policy. There is something that maybe even all of us haven't heard. So we've been referring, the engineers would know, we've been referring to IRC 103 2012 as the pedestrian infrastructure guidelines. That is a national guideline, and IRC has released its newest guideline for 103. There is IRC 103 2022, which is an updated version of the same standard, and that new standard now increases the width of the clear pedestrian walkway to 2 meters. It used to be 1.8, that has now increased to 2 meters. There's a clear requirement of 2 meters and a vertical clearance. That means that there should be no obstructions in the vertical height up till the 2.4-meter height. That is what the IRC code says. The Indian Road Congress says that. This universal footpath policy allows footpaths to go as narrow as 1.2 meters with a vertical clearance of 2.1 meters. So we are actually less compliant, and we are doing even less than what the IRC code right now is mandating. I think
One
that
point
is
one
very
point
sad.
five meters is 1.5 meters is ridiculous. It's regressive.
It's 1.2 to 1.8 is what the range that the universal footpath policy recommends.
Also, I think we have someone from Patna watching us right now, which is, I mean, nice. So I want to kind of set the context over here. IRC is Indian Roads Congress. Indian Roads Congress is the body which decides and kind of guides all of the infrastructure in the country. So IRC has different codes for signage, कि कहाँ पे signage लगना चाहिए, for road design, for footpath design. IRC 103 is what is for footpath design. And किसी भी इंडियन म्यूनिसिपैलिटी में IRC 103 is the kind of document which is applicable unless the uh, unless the municipality has a separate policy in place, like the BMC's universal footpath policy which they have came up with has come up. So now we are at the discussion where we are saying कि IRC में there is a minimum right of way. Like any footpath is divided into three sections, which is one is frontage zone, जो shop के बाहर होता है, where you can keep your chappals. Generally, cafes and all have kind of space where they can put up their menu card, or some space which is basically useless to walkers because we are not walking that close to a storefront or a wall. And that is what is called a dead zone or a frontage zone. Then there is a furniture zone towards the road where you have all the trees, the furniture, also some
The
utility
utility boxes,
utility boxes,
all of those things.
signage, light poles, whatever. And then there is a minimum clear walking zone in the middle, which IRC says कि 2 मीटर होना चाहिए. बट वो एक्चुअली मुंबई में अकॉर्डिंग टू यूनिवर्सल फुटपाथ पॉलिसी वो 1.2 भी चलता है इज व्हाट दे आर सेइंग, which logically sounds like kind of weird to me कि in across India Mumbai is the densest city. Most people walk in Mumbai. More people in Mumbai walk than any other city.
Yeah.
And we are saying कि यहाँ पे फुटपाथ एक्चुअली और कम होना चाहिए बाकी के इंडियन सिटीज से.
I know Manhattan के 10 meters के फुटपाथ उनको कम पड़ रहे हैं and they are
Yeah,
actually increasing the footpath widths.
that's what we were saying ki like Manhattan has all of this grid layout where they have 6 or 7 avenues and all of these streets which are horizontal perpendicular to those, and all of these streets are actually like 30 meters, 28 meters right of way, so they're not any wider than a LBS road or a SV road. Mumbai has much wider streets than actually all of their internal avenues. Like many of our roads are much wider, but हमारे footpaths are nowhere close to that. Does bus stops come in furniture zone? Yes, it does.
Yes, it should.
It should.
Ideally,
It
it should
should.
not take up the walking zone.
And also IRC says कि वो उसके लिए bulb out होना चाहिए. For each bus stop there should be kind of a bulb out. नहीं तो normally right now what you're seeing is bus stop बहुत पीछे होता है. You cannot see what bus is coming. और because bus stop पीछे है also car park हो जाती है सामने, and that's why best bus just ends up stopping right on the road.
And this bulb out is completely opposite to the bus bay.
Yeah,
Most people think that you need a bus bay so that the bus stops inside and vehicular traffic stays uninterrupted, because how can we interrupt vehicular traffic?
yeah,
But actually what should happen is that there should be a bus bay, the footpath should come out, and the bus should not have to go in and out and serve and all that. It should just be able to stop, pedestrians get in, and it quickly goes out.
yeah. Definitely, that was a positive thing that we discussed when we had a meeting with MMRD in December. We were discussing some of the Mumbai Metro plans, the multimodal integration, multimodal MMI plans basically.
Hmm.
And thankfully, they are doing away with bus bays under all of these new metro lines that they are
Oh,
actually
that's
putting.
great. That was actually a great fight that even we had with MMRDA to get them to understand this concept. But it's great if it has changed
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Still, I mean, the width of footpath is another contentious issue that we are still kind of fighting with. But that's a constant fight. I think
Yeah.
we'll get back to the presentation and kind of start with our Pune visit rundown of what all I saw over there. And I think Zohra, if you're staying on the call, we can, I mean, kind of discuss that also, like some of the things that I saw over there. Uh,
So there
yeah,
is a question: do bus
okay.
stops come in the furniture zone? They
Yes, we
will come in
replied
the
to that.
yeah. Yes, we've replied to that. Okay, I'm not seeing the reply. Okay.
Everyone's voice is low. I'll try to increase our desktop audio so that you should be able to listen to me.
It's from the OBS side, I think the streaming software side, somebody's saying.
Yeah. I have increased it. I don't want it to be way too loud. So let me know if it is not loud enough. I can try to fix it as we move. Uh, but yeah, I think this is Pariyat Taup in Aun. Neeraj is in the chat. Basically, I went to Pune to meet Neeraj, and he kind of gave a rundown of a few places that I should visit in the city, which have done some footpaths. I'll play the, I mean, why not? Like an idiot, I'm not playing it. Yeah. So this is basically a footpath in Aun, Pune, Pariyar Chowk, and I mean, I really loved the way that they have done this. This is again done in under the Smart City project back in 2017. So this footpath is around 8 years old right now. There are lots of observations. Now, right away, you can see that in this footpath they have a nice parking bay. So Mumbai mein usually you don't have a parking bay. You just have a shoulder portion where you come and park any of your vehicles, and that is what actually kind of causes this unorganized way of parking, and double parking, triple parking होता है, and it is also difficult to enforce that rule. यहाँ पे because you have a nice parking way, you know where you are actually allowed to park. काफी सब जगह पे you are not allowed to park. You just have to park in this kind of a cutout that is given. Then there are lots of, I mean, just check out the footage in this. I have a list of key takeaways slide that will go to in the go to further.
You see the distance between the bollard. There is one, two bollards जिसके बीच में there is more distance. That is for wheelchairs.
Yeah, no, that I didn't bring some, but yeah, that is another observation. This is where the wheelchairs can pass, and they have not kind of also stuck to the entire uh, furniture zone, multi-utility zone में ही utility होना चाहिए. They have gone a bit more
Yeah, I've
pragmatic
just
and kind of placed it where it is not
taken a left from our footpath.
uh, which I like a lot actually.
So I
So
have
this was
taken a
done
left
by
from our
Prasanna
main road.
Desai
I'm just out
Architects,
for a stroll.
and under the entire
Yeah, yeah.
smart city
Take a
mission, actually
left on the
Pune
main
and
road.
PCMC have done a lot of streets like this, and they have a lot of these features that we are generally associate with the Netherlands or some of these places in the West, but they have done this in Pune over here. Next is a road, Jangli Maharaj Road. So let me hide this so you can see much clearer. This is again city center Pune around the Deccan region. One nice thing that I saw over here is this is some kind of a stamped concrete footpath, or I don't know, in situ cast concrete, and this is similar timeline. I think must be 2017, 2018 probably, and the surface quality seems quite nice over here. Right of way must be 35 meters. I did some measurements. Some sections of this were easily 8 to 9 meters. Maybe some of them are much larger than that. Uh, but yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed this entire trip to Pune. I got to see a lot of footpaths, lot of well quality stuff, and mainly you can see there is a huge difference in the foliage tree cover in Mumbai and in the Pune. It was also enjoyable seeing. This is again Ferguson College Road, another road which they have done. Uh, they have done each and everything. Like they have not just done कि फुटपाथ बनाना है, ट्रेन कवर है, उसके ऊपर चढ़ा देना है कुछ टाइल्स, and that is what actually kind of gets this whole thing like it fixes some problems. Uh, so while I was at the trip, I was trying to also look at some of these articles when this whole thing was actually being implemented. And there are a lot of articles where saying कि footpath बढ़ा देंगे तो traffic हो जाएगा. There were a lot of protests also. Not a lot, but there were some protests about it. But right now, if you see the the way that they have kept a consistent carriageway, it is also giving you it's keeping the traffic flowing constantly. It's not causing that kind of a problem. So we are now at the some key takeaways that we have over here. So generally, I mean, footpaths are wider and the placemaking is good. Each and every place in Pune, like each and every footpath, if there is some additional space, it is done well. There is enough seating area. There is a lot of things like that. There are no guardrails. Like I don't know if someone from Pune might correct me, but I do not remember seeing a single guardrail throughout this journey. Neeraj actually took me in his car and we actually looked around the entire city in the car. Probably 100 plus kilometers. I walked probably over 20-25 kilometers in the 3 day trip. Did 100 kilometers in a car. Was constantly looking around on the footpaths besides it. But there were absolutely no guardrails. And this kind of also brings me back to the universal footpath policy. Because I think Zora, you must have read about it, right? In the universal footpath policy also.
The guardrails, yeah, yeah. The
Yeah.
guardrails are a big thing. For some reason, they consider guardrails are meant for pedestrian safety. They are not meant for safety, not in our urban traffic situation. Guardrails are meant for safety in highway situations. So it's a
Yeah.
very misconceived idea.
And the IRC 2022 was actually quite progressive about it. They said कि you're not supposed to put up all of these guardrails at all of these things. You're
Yeah.
supposed to only have them at very specific locations, intersections where you want to channel people towards the proper crossing.
Or there is no line of sight. If there is no line of
Yeah,
sight between a vehicle and pedestrian, there could be a crash. That is where you have a guardrail. But you really don't need guardrails. In fact, guardrails, I would like to say, as a woman and as a child, they are more of a hazard because it does not allow me to escape. If a creepy man is coming in the opposite direction and there is a railing stopping me from escaping, because we usually, as women, we know we cross the road if there is a creeping person coming on the other side. So I think all these considerations have not been made at all.
I actually want to pull up a couple of pictures of some guardrails that I have clicked. I will. I mean, it's on the live stream. I don't know. You guys might. Are you guys seeing this on the Google Meet call?
Yes,
Yes, yes,
I'm
we
able
can
to see
see.
it.
Yeah. So I mean, this guard now this is what the BMC has been starting to put up. We'll discuss this in our K-Ward section, K-Westward section of this live stream. But this is what the BMC has been putting up, and नया जो universal footpath policy है, it says कि guardrails have to be much more ubiquitous. कि और जगह पे safety के लिए लगाना चाहिए. Whereas IRC says कि नहीं लगाना चाहिए, कम लगाना चाहिए, because it is obviously like in an image like this, you can see how obstruction, what how badly it is kind of obstructing the footpath, and it gives you a sense of entrapment, which should not be there. I mean, as walking project, we have been constantly going to ward offices and talking about this. नहीं होना चाहिए. Why are we putting up? And we have got a lot of insights about this to discuss. I mean, I don't know who is saying कि हमको ये guardrail पसंद है. Probably no one in the city, but we have those over here.
And I think the point that Zora brought up was also is also very important because that is also a point of safety and like concern of safety when if a woman is feeling unsafe and she wants to cross the road or get away from the footpath but she's not able to. So when they say it's a measure to keep pedestrians safe, this is also a measure to keep pedestrians safe to be able to get on and get off
Yeah.
and
In
not
fact, you will
feel
notice wherever there are guardrails and it's in the night time, the women will not walk on the footpath. They will walk on the
yeah,
carriageway.
definitely. Yeah.
Absolutely. Someone is asking what is the justification of putting up guardrails. Generally, guardrails, I mean, it is just to keep the pedestrian traffic and car traffic segregated, is what they say. कि safety के लिए लगाते हैं. And like I'll kind of jumping the gun over here, but a lot of these guardrails coming up in Mumbai are at the direction of joint CP traffic, like traffic police Mumbai. We add guardrails at more locations within the city. Uh,
So the contention is that pedestrians somehow block traffic flow. That
yeah,
जब pedestrians उतरते रहते हैं बार बार from the footpath, तो the traffic flow gets interrupted. The
yeah.
logic is twisted because है ही नहीं इतनी जगह के फुटपाथ पे चलेंगे इसलिए रास्ते पे चलते हैं. In the wide footpaths like you see in Pune, nobody was walking on the carriageway.
Yeah,
So I think it's a little bit of a
No, no,
again,
this is all deliberate. There is a single point agenda of siphoning of public money. Simple as that. Let's not let's be very clear. I mean, we still don't have a figure on how much the city is spending on a yearly basis on putting up these guardrails. Because whenever we can challenge municipal officials or anybody else, there is, I mean, we need data, right? Nobody has any data at all. Absolutely no data. This is just my word against your word. And just because they're holding the purse strings, they feel that their word is more important, and they just go ahead and take the decisions. So there's no justification at all for guardrails. And besides, if you have 1.5-meter footpaths and you're putting guardrails, then you're just forcing people right onto the road, which means you're going back on your own justification for the guardrails of providing safety to pedestrians.
also, I mean, in the last meeting that we had at one of these BMC offices, I remember them asking them ki what is the generic cost of this guardrail which is coming up. And they mentioned somewhere like a ballpark figure. They didn't have it right off their head, but they mentioned a ballpark figure कि इसके बीच में है, and they said कि 15,000 to 20,000 rupees is being spent on one running meter of a guardrail. The newer ones, जो black वाला हमने picture में दिखाया, uh, so this one, so this is costing them somewhere around 15,000 to 20,000 rupees per meter, and which is insane.
I mean, it's insane. And their justification also is that these are the fiberglass ones, they are plastic, they will last for 10 years. The previous ones were iron and steel, they were rusting. And we're saying, okay, fine, now for 10 years, which means that our five footpaths are finished. And I mean, 15,000 a running meter. And you take what, 100 meters? What is the figure? 100, 15 lakhs? 100 meters, 15 lakhs gone. So, I mean, nobody's challenging this. It's the empirical evidence is right there on the street that you don't need the guardrails.
And also, I mean, जो guardrail लगा भी रहे हैं, even that is not following IRC guidelines. IRC says कि it should be maximum 0.7 meters to 0.7 meters to maximum 0.9 meters. इनके guardrails हमने measure किए हैं 1.2 meters है, and this is throughout the city. It is the same standard design. I mean, what logic are they following? जहाँ पे
No,
law
the
follow
logic,
करना होता है नहीं करते हैं.
no, the logic is clear. The BOQ amount goes up, right? So the more the BOQ amount goes up, that's the whole game that is being played. I mean, we need to challenge it strongly on multiple fronts.
And I remember the guy being extremely proud. This is an innovation that we have done by making these guardrails out of fabric, like fiber, reinforced fiber. तो कोई चोरी नहीं कर रहा है. मेटल होता था तो चोरी होता था, अभी ये चोरी नहीं कर रहे.
This is what they did about the manholes, no? The same manholes wala story. There's one more point that I want to bring about your observations on Pune and the footpath policy actually. So one of the observations that you made was that there were nicely parking lays laid out, and there were spaces. So if you go to the other streets, there are also spaces laid out for hawkers and vendors, and every सबके लिए जगह रखी है ताकि they don't encroach on the walking space. Now this is the biggest complaint that we have in Mumbai: encroachments. Somehow everybody seems to think encroachments is our problem. Footpath तो chilo nahi hai, but encroachment is a bigger problem. The, that issue has not been addressed at all in the universal footpath policy. They've just left that gate open कि वो तो हम इन पे blame कर देंगे कि what to do, we built the 1.5 meter footpath but somebody came and encroached on it. So now it is no longer our concern.
Yeah.
They have to take full responsibility for not only constructing the footpath but also ensuring that it remains encroachment free, and the way to do that is to create space. That is what the the street vending act and all of that will also, that has not been implemented yet officially. So uh, we don't know where that will go, but technically they are supposed to make space for everybody on
Yeah.
the street.
And IRC again was more progressive about that. They had mentioned all of these specific zones. Tree के नीचे होना चाहिए because that is a place
Exactly.
where hoppers want to be. It's very detailed. I mean, anyone can go and check it on our website in the resources section. Uh, but I mean, it's a universal footpath policy. I have talked to a couple of journalists in the past couple of days who have asked, "What is your comment on this?" And it's, I mean, generally my comment is, कि देखो, universal footpath policy, I don't think the document is adequate at all. Second thing is कि parking and hawking are the two biggest issues in the city, which kind of hinder walking in the city. And उन दोनों को address करने के लिए there has been no allocation. Like the non-motorized transport cell in each ward that we have been fighting for, that has not been addressed. There is no kind of a body accountable to whom we can actually get to. But none of these things, I mean, when until you're not solving these issues and spending money on it and trying to uh, look at a holistic perspective, not really much is going to come out of this universal footpath policy. So even though like 5, 6 articles are coming out saying this is some big thing, this is really not. There's a long fight ahead. Yeah, I think we'll move to the next part. I'll get back to my presentation. This is a bit of a trouble trying to constantly keep on switching these screens. I don't know what is the more efficient way, but yeah.
I think we'll figure out in time.
Yeah, I mean, it is a learning process constantly. कुछ ना कुछ, we are learning. It's not like streamers are learning first day, सब कुछ आ रहा है, live streamers. But yeah, so we were at the Indian Association of Architects. Aishwarya actually got to do a nice presentation over there. I think Aishwarya can kind of elaborate on that.
Yeah, but we can't see the presentation with that. If you're
Oh, wait a minute. Uh, yeah, okay, I'm not sharing the screen maybe on the. I thought I was sharing so far. Yeah, yep. It's
yeah,
visible, right?
yeah, yeah. So it was a very nice opportunity that we got to present our work at IIA. So IIA basically is Indian Association of Architects. It's a national body of architects, and they have their Maharashtra chapter at and having a center at Thane. So they had their Maharashtra Convention 2025, which was MahaCon 2025. And there we got a quick slot of 10 minutes to just talk about walkability and what walking project does. And it was a very, insightful event, and we got to meet architect Brenda Somaya and Nandini Sampath. So great conversations all around walkability and how we can collaborate and take this forward, take this initiative forward. So yeah, it was. I think like Rishi can also add if he wants to, but yeah, overall it was a very good opportunity, and thankfully by Professor Pitkar we got that opportunity. So it was good.
Yeah. I think architects again. It reminds me of Pune. So all of these footpaths in Pune, there is a lot of money that has gone behind designing all of this. It is done really tastefully. Most of Mumbai's projects I've seen, it is like I think other than that, uh, the footpaths along the Metro Line 1, I don't think there has been a design consultant which is actually put up for proper placemaking and all of these things. So it is like you mentioned in the call previously also, Zohra. It is not look footpaths are not looked at holistically, and they are not trying to solve the problems that exist. They are just trying to say कि रोड बना दिया, shoulder cushion डाल दिया और एक फुटपाथ बना दिया.
See, also one more point which we had the discussion at PCOA. We were at Pillai's College of Architecture, and one of the faculty tried to bring in the point about dovetailing other budgets also into the walkability agenda. Her point was specifically the blue-green infrastructure, that how you design footpaths can help mitigate flooding and they are porous, etc. And of course, it was a short discussion, but the very next day or the day after that, in economic times, the post-budget economic times session, in the edit page, I read a fantastic article. We should have showed it over here actually on gender budgeting. And the budget has put across, I think, 3 lakh crores for just the gender budget, which is women specific schemes, etc. I'm saying the walkability agenda, I mean, 100 crores can come from BMC budget, but there are so many different government schemes. And we are saying again and again that the walkability agenda is not just walking as a mode of commute. It is a gender issue. It is a senior citizen issue. It is an AQI issue. We've been highlighting that it is an open space ratio in a city which has 0.01 or whatever the ratio might be for per thousand people. Footpaths are your only place where people are getting to be in a public space, and you should make it aesthetic, joyful, clean, hygienic, everything. So you need not look at footpaths as just 100 crores coming from BMC for the actual making of the footpaths, which is important. But you can dovetail gender budget, climate budget, you can put in so many AQI, everything to provide like Andheri Kulla Road, like since Vedant mentioned line one. I mean, as many people are on top, I think I'm sure double the amount, triple the amount of people are at grade on the surface. And honestly, I love the line one civil work and hygiene and the upkeep. And if you could just replicate what happens on line one stations right below on the entire corridor, I mean, that is what we should aim for. I mean, we're not being ambitious at all.
This actually reminded me of a reel that Priyanka shared in the morning. This is Azim Banatwala ka reel. I think people watching on the live stream might have also seen. But they're talking. He's talking about the same exact location under Andheri, and he jokes about how it looks like. It feels like the construction is constantly going on. But then he says he talked to the taxi driver, and
अंधेरी
taxi
फिनिश
driver,
हो गया.
हाँ नहीं, the taxi driver says कि देखो ना ये मेट्रो बन गया, ये फ्लाईओवर बन गया, ये रोड बन गया है. And then he says कि फिर मुझे realize हुआ कि this is a design choice. The way this stretch looks, this is not construction चालू नहीं है, ये ऐसे दिखता है. The whole
Yeah,
it
they're not
reminds,
used to it. Andheri is not used to it now. They've been under construction for so long.
yeah.
Very Kola Road has improved, I would say. I mean, if you look at it 2025, it's a lot better
Yeah,
than
yeah.
we.
I mean, this is where we disagree. I think metro should be painted, but
I want to say though that while I agree all of this, the universal footpath policy, I want to go back to that. It just disappoints me so much because a policy must be aspirational.
yeah,
We are going to get to 10% of a policy. Every policy in our country, you see, we are barely there. Air quality, NCAP, the National Clean Air Program, all of these are very ambitious targets. If your target is only so menial, 1.2 meters, so reality में तो 0 meter ही मिलेगा. So
yeah.
yeah, we really would appreciate. There are so many good architects in our city. There are so many good urban designers,
No,
transport.
we need a Zohra whole convention. We need to send the municipal commissioner, the additional commissioner, chief engineer roads. This has to be a
They
1 day
really
workshop,
should
half
at
day,
least, yeah,
half day,
invest some
and
time
we
and
need
make a
to,
better policy. This is
yeah, yeah, we all need to
a
go
global
together, meet the
city.
municipal commissioner, and this is like aspirationally completely a disappointment.
And it is also like a job creation thing, na? I mean, you would be creating so many jobs, high-paying skilled jobs for architects, for urban designers, for surveyors, all of these people. And I mean, you spend this one flyover at Chamber that they are building on the expressway, which connects VN to Eastern Express Highway, 900 crore rupees. 900
Wow,
crore rupees for a
wow, I
one
didn't know
kilometer
that.
of flyover.
900. Wow, wow.
And we are talking पूरे मुंबई में यूनिवर्सल फुटपाथ बनाएंगे 100
100 crores.
करोड़ में 100 crore.
So crore.
Probably,
Exactly.
Wow, wow.
I mean, if you want to spend money, fine. You can get a cut out of it. आपको corruption वगैरह, corruption exists in China, corruption exists in most other countries. It's not like the West doesn't have corruption, but the way they have corruption, they have channelized it properly कि something good comes out of it.
I agree. I think corruption is not as much of a problem as incompetences. If a
Yeah.
competent person is corrupt and is doing the right thing and earning money out of it, we have no problems. But they're doing the wrong things to
Yeah.
earn money out of it, which is just unfair to
I'll, I'll,
everybody.
I'll stop myself from going on some idealistic banter. So for now, I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you guys.
Yeah. I think we'll also move back to the presentation. I don't remember what is left. So we'll discuss some of our K West World Cup meeting. There
No,
were a couple of
let's
meetings.
discuss the traffic island. The traffic island has been like a mind bender. Like you can just show two contrasting images of
Traffic
the
Island,
traffic.
actually, what happened is I have forgotten to
Okay,
bring
okay,
it
not
there
a
in the.
problem. No, I can share it on my screen if it will show. I don't know.
Wait a minute. You can share it on your screen if you have it directly right away. Then
Let
I'll
me check.
put you in the presentation. Put you.
So you can give an update on the SV Road walk. I think that is important.
हाँ, ठीक है. I'll do that. So before that, I'll do our Worli residents ka whole thing that we did. We are doing kind of a recap for who have joined later in this live stream.
So bring the Senapati Bapat Marg into the main focus. And
Uh, yeah. So basically, we kind of also engaged with. Okay. This. Yeah. This should be visible better now. So we were engaging with the residents of Lodha Park in on Senapati Bapat Marg, and we kind of got this link through a person who attended one of our community talks at St. Xavier's. And then he got his mother in touch with us, and then we, I mean, kind of did a nice interaction with her. and try to take all of this walking project as a whole holistic thing forward. Mainly because there are two things. Like all of us know, Lodha Park is a very extremely rich locality. It's a whole gated community, high net worth individuals, 70-story towers, maybe more than that. And it is the footpath right outside that place is abysmal. I mean, it is nowhere close to what it should be. All of these people pay so much in taxes, and what are they getting out of it? Not really much. So we kind of did a community walk with them last Sunday. Then we this Wednesday itself we hosted a community talk where we got the people to understand what walkability is, what IRC is, कितना minimum होना चाहिए, कितना होना चाहिए, क्या होना चाहिए, and got a decent response. And it is a very active community actually. There are a lot of people who have been working on traffic issues and all. And we kind of want to piggyback on it and leverage our interactions with the BMC and hopefully get a better, get better inroads into the BMC and trying to fix some of these issues directly so that we can get them involved. And this will also kind of become like a, uh pilot for us in terms of having a decentralized movement. As you guys know, and all of us know that we are a team of three over here at Walking Project. And I mean, we are stretched to our bandwidth because of the SV Road project that we are that we'll be talking about in the next few slides. This team at Lodha Park has actually said that we will take up most of the communication work with the BMC. Will not let you. I mean, will not kind of. You don't have to do a lot of work. You just give us the directions. We will do a lot of the labor, menial work that you need to do, and that is actually something which we are looking forward to. And this can be replicated across the city, and which will help us scale up this whole walking project thing at a in a much better way. So yeah, I mean, we are looking forward to that.
So also the key input we've given at that meeting is that don't get into spot fixing
Yeah,
and don't get into interacting with local ward office because the entire Senapati Bapat Marg stretch, at least the one we are talking from Deepak Talkies till Rakangi Chowk, which covers Phoenix Mills, Raghuvanshi Mall, etc., is in need for a complete overhaul. I mean, it has been neglected for far too long. You need to bring in top-notch urban designers, transport engineers, planners, whoever a team, and constitute do a complete new redesign and then implementation come to the cost. We've also said that Mr. Mangal Prabhat Loda needs to step in, use his offices and other developers to come in. And it needs to aspirationally be, it cannot be about spot fixing. We fix the manhole cover there, fix a slope here, this edge. The surface quality has deteriorated enormously since 1.5 years last when we walked. So I think this should be remembered for most other communities across MMR that, yeah.
it also reminds me. I mean, this again, Pune. I mean, you have to spend properly. You have to think all of these problems through. There's the
And don't
entire
go to
Pandaram.
Lahore once in a while.
Yeah, Pandaram Pushkar Marg could be a nice place to add a lot of parking bays, a lot of bus bays, and solve the traffic issue that they have in terms of illegal parking. ये traffic bay simply आप parking bay अगर simply आप बना दोगे, it is so much easier for the traffic cops themselves to actually enforce. इस line के बाहर अगर कुछ है, तो it is illegal. You cannot park over there. Sorry, I thought I was showing the video, but I was not. So yeah, this is the parking bay. You can see how vehicles are parked. This white car could easily be fined by any parking authority because it is illegally parked over there, double parked outside the box it is supposed to be parked. So all of these issues can be taken up directly by the BMC, and we hope with our visits and all, we will in the few couple of months we will be able to make some change happen and leverage it across the city. So yeah, next thing we are talking about today is the SV Road program. Last month on the 12th of January, we started with our annual SV Road thing, and we have hosted our annual SV Road walk, which is again Swami Vivekanand Jayanti, and the narrative was that Swami Vivekanand, a person well revered, the road does not embody any of the values. Like you can see in some of the pictures that you see on the live stream, a kind of environment uh, that exists on SV Road. So I'm thinking if the not just me, this is Walking Project's agenda. So if SV Road could see similar kind of improvements that road on say in Pune, like one of the roads in Pune saw, it would be so much better. Like you could solve all of these issues that that we have been talking about. Uh, yeah, Rishi, can you kind of stop your presentation for now? This is actually mixing up my. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, if entirety of SV Road could be redone in a urban design manner, where we are integrating all of these things within the entire plan कि कहाँ पे parking है it is well designated. You have hawking zones which are well designated कि इस box के अंदर you can hawk easily and this is not hindering pedestrian traffic. You could have good signage along the SV road कि अच्छा the next right takes me to Andheri station gate number 4. The next left takes me to so so hospital, Cooper hospital, whatever. It would improve our lives so much. And also SV road is flanked by 13 railway stations, including Bandra terminus. It is around 25 kilometers, probably one of the longest, if not the longest road in the road in the city. It has a population catchment area of around 5 million, probably, if not 5, at least 3. मैं सेंसस के हिसाब से हमको बाद में पता चलेगा. But if we can just improve this SV road, there will be so many eyeballs on this road, and so many more people can just say point out कि we want this, ये चाहिए हमको across throughout the city. It becomes a nice lightning rod for all of us to focus our efforts on, and for the BMC also to kind of show what they can actually do. So something what Pune is done on FC Road, Jangli Maharaj Road, Parihar Chowk, or any other road, uh, it can be done on SV Road. Then future में LBS होगा, फिर देखो do सेनापति बापट मार, lot more things can actually be done that. What are your views? Do you have anything to add, Rishi, Zohra?
I think SV Road has so much underutilized space. So, when we go and plan a street, the one thing that we see is actually where are the cars driving, where are the vehicles driving, versus where are they not driving. There is so much underutilized space which could all be planned well. And let me tell you, as urban designers, if you are consulting with the communities, you are looking at the current utilization and then you're planning, then you will make space for everything. Then you will not have to worry about encroachments. Encroachments are a problem because there has been no design intervention in the first place. If you see LJ Mark, Mahim, for example, that has well designed, space where the vendors also sit, there's walking space also, and there's parking also, there's everything. So it is a possibility, and SV Road is a perfect right of way for that. It is extremely critical, and
So
no
Zora,
one should say there's no space.
Yeah,
no, no. So Zora, we all accept we are on the same side on this. Where we are lacking, I think, is right now we're not having traction on the ground with community. And if I can request you, if we can hold a community meeting for the Santa Cruz car section, then that will be wonderful. And how do
We
we
can
get
do a
together?
design charrette, Rishi. I can help in getting the entire community sit and draw out the design, because drawing out a design is not rocket science. It
yeah,
just
No, no.
needs a
So
few principles, and we'll
no,
have a ready
drawing,
design.
Zora, the drawing is the easier part. I'm saying, can we reach 20 buildings along SV Road in Santa Cruz between St. Teresa School and say Poddar or the next junction, who are right bang on SV Road? Maybe the students of the schools or the principals, and get people sitting in this design chariot. And how soon can we do it is, I think, what we should aim at. Because otherwise, see, we are in an echo chamber. We all agree
Yeah,
with
yeah,
each other.
yeah,
We
yeah.
need to get out of our echo chamber. We need to speak to people who, I mean, like we realize in our community walks, everybody goes back very refreshed. They said we never looked at the public realm of footpaths in the way you guys are speaking with
Yeah,
us. Things
absolutely.
like heights, width, surface quality, so much of insight we have to share in our community walks. Now we are saying we need to bring this to 20, 30 buildings, bang on SP Road. And it'd be great if we can do something within Feb.
Bilkul, let's try.
Yeah,
That is
we can
also
decide.
what is planned with the entire SV Road improvement program, right? I think Aishwarya is in the
Yes.
is in a location where she might not be able to talk. Are you able to talk? Could
Yes,
elaborate.
yes. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Sorry, I didn't catch your what was.
Yeah.
Can
So I
you just
mean,
repeat?
basically, kind of, can you brief the community about the SV Road
Aishwarya
improvement
has
project?
background noise right now. I think we'll continue with our conversation. In fact,
Okay. Good.
what I wanted to immediately add, Zora, the difficulty of the agenda is so huge. And that's where I was sharing that image that when we tried to solve just one single traffic island and
Yeah.
try to bring it into conversation, it was mind bending. I mean, it just kept us kind of in shock for 2, 3 days. That if at one junction, one traffic island is going to become so much of contentious, I don't know whether the image will show. I'll try to share it, and I hope it doesn't go to infinity window. Are you able to? 1 second. Are you able to see it?
Uh, yes. I'm
I don't
trying.
know whether it's available on the stream. Can you see it, Zora?
Just let me fix it so live people can also see it live. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. They are
you
able
can
to see.
see. Yeah, you can see Vedant and Aishwarya standing there, and this is. So we are saying this is completely wrong from IRC or any guideline point of view. I mean that traffic island beautification should not exist. It should be at the curb height, which you see. And now if you see this young woman in the white clothing, she could have easily used the traffic island as a holding area while she was crossing SV Road, but that is not available. And when we spoke with the people concerned, they said we cannot do anything right now because public money is being used for that beautification. And now there'll have to be a long justification of why you're going to demolish it and consequently, so to say, waste public money. And besides, the concerns are that if it is low rise, unmountable, vagrants, beggars, people selling books, etc., occupied. And but this is the most, maybe one of the busiest intersections on SV Road. Thousands of students from NM Mitibai College are passing this every day. And right now we are not prepared with our images. We've got aerial images also.
So
But
I'm showing basically the street view image.
yeah,
On the live stream, I
so
think they will be able to see it right now. So this is basically the
yeah,
traffic island we are talking about. This one single traffic island, we asked the BMC ki क्यों है ऐसा, and why is it not flat? So IRC clearly says कि ये जो जगह है, you have to, if you have to cross this road, you go over here and kind of stop over here, wait for the traffic signal to come green, and then cross it. But what we found out through this whole BMC thing is, let me bring us back to our cases. Yeah. So what we kind of found out over at the BMC is कि this whole business happened around the G20 beautification thing. So G20 के लिए उन्होंने across the city they beautified a lot of quote unquote beautified a lot of these spaces, and beautification के अंदर they put up flower beds, murals, statues, yoga ka statue, ballet dancer, whatever, lot of these things. And it is a policy thing. So each and every traffic island in the city is destined to get this kind of infrastructure if it has already not gotten it. And now to reverse this, the guy said ki public money has already been spent. We can't justify demolishing it right away, even though it is illegal the way they have built it. And it just talks to us about the magnitude of the issue about simple thing like traffic island at one intersection. बाकी सब लेआउट कितना होना चाहिए, कंटिन्यूअस रेट्स क्रॉसिंग्स डालना चाहिए, साइनेज, वो सब तो दूर की बात है. वी आर जस्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट समथिंग जो निकालना है. एंड सच एन एनॉर्मस चैलेंज.
and it immediately brings a huge relief. Like this is a low hanging fruit. But yeah, it is as it is for so many years.
Yeah. So someone is saying, are such left turns signal free? Vishal is saying, are such left turns signal free, or do the vehicles have to stop on the red? In Mumbai, I think they are not. They are free. You can constantly move around. That is another thing I think I remember. Thank you for mentioning this. But in Pune, there were no free left turns. At least I didn't find many. I asked Neeraj what is the statistic on this. He said around 50% of them are free, 50% of them are not.
So Mumbai also does not have free left turns,
Acha,
Vedant. It
wow.
doesn't, but the design doesn't look like it's a free left turn. So the road design is not matching with the signal phasing.
So I'm allow me to present one more this picture, Vedant.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Uh,
Um, let me just, I don't know, I'll have to, wait a minute, fix it. Okay, yeah. This, yeah, it is visible now.
is visible. So this is the image Zohra we were showing them. That this is how the traffic island should be. I hope I don't know whether people watching are able to see it.
They're able to see it.
Yeah. But this is we're not bringing any global example. We are saying this is close to Prabha Devi, Dadar. And that's it. I mean, that lady you see was able to cross that zebra crossing and pass between the bollards, come over there and will cross over there. So, I mean, it's a no-brainer. But yeah, the complaint is that this will be taken over by beggars, vagrants, etc., which is a housekeeping issue. Uh, but yeah, these are the kind of problems we're facing.
Even in this image, I mean, I saw the woman trying to go diagonal in a diagonal direction, which is not supposed to be the way it is. I mean, जो भी बना है उसमें भी there are some design issues in the intersection.
इसमें ना
Then,
लेकिन this thing that they get taken over by beggars and encroachers and all that, I have to say that during my walks I have found that it is easier for a pedestrian to walk in a space that is slightly encroached. Like I have these big footpaths, you know, where two wheelers are coming and going in. It does not hamper my safety as much as having no footpath and then me having to, you know, steer my way around in between vehicles or then, you know, try and squeeze in when a fast moving car. So you understand the pros and cons. It is the smaller evil is trying to block a bigger solution from coming in. That's ridiculous thinking. It will get encroached. It's okay. Even if it gets encroached, it will still be safer for pedestrians, and pedestrians are the maximum people in our city. So we shouldn't have a choice but to plan from a pedestrian viewpoint.
Yeah,
also, Zora, if you keep cleaning it up on a weekly basis and just simple housekeeping and the kind of mid-fresh condition that we saw in the previous image, and if you keep it like it's the broken window theory, right? Keep it clean. If there is somebody painted graffiti or whatever, just keep cleaning it up, and the message will go across that let's not. But that's where the regular functioning of the BMC is so critical in the city.
Yeah.
yeah. So we'll coming back to the Malad, the whole SV Road walks that we conducted. We conducted like 4 walks in partnership with Project Mumbai. Huge help from them in terms of getting volunteers and making this all happen. In fact, and basically we did 4 walks on simultaneously on a single day, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. starting from Bandra station, Parla station, Malad station, and Borivali station. We walked northwards in most directions except Borivali, and you can see all of these pictures. And it was a nice lightning rod activity where a lot of people came together, and this is what we want to leverage. Like over the next 6 months, under SV Road Improvement Program, we are kind of trying to do prepare a database of what all hospitals, what like along SV Road, कौन से hospitals है, कौन से schools है, colleges है, who is the local MLA, MP. Create an open source database which will be made available on our website so that any future uh, improvement program or whatever can leverage upon our SV Road Improvement Project ka data itself. That is what we are doing. But in addition to that, we are also kind of trying to get architects and urban designers together and try to propose some good infrastructure, get a lot of meetings with the local community, uh, and try to push through this thing with the BMC in the way that we are complaining. It should be something like Pune. Uh, so that is the basically the whole idea behind this entire SV Road improvement program. It will include
And
like
and
street view mapping.
and- yeah, and it is being led by Aishwarya, who
Yeah,
specifically come in for 5 months for that.
yeah,
And we would really appreciate people cooperating with Aishwarya and joining in whichever capacity. Karan Dave in Malad has been supporting a lot in terms of data. But
extremely. I mean, Karan,
yeah,
I was going to bring Karan up, and Karan, I don't know if he's watching the stream or not, but he has kind of helped a lot in just getting us like doing GIS mapping and stakeholder mapping, uh, and getting lists of people who are along SV Road. And he has probably cut probably 2 to 3 weeks of time for us. And he's been doing this selflessly, completely. Poor guy tries to kind of call me and all to get on like a discussion stream with me. But sadly, I don't have that much time to actually talk to him. But yeah, thank you, Karan, for actually helping us out with this whole.
Yeah, even I would like to add that it has been a huge help work from Karan as well. Like even while since I'm specifically working on SV Road, his all of his help has hugely added to the database that we are preparing. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah. This was the community walk we hosted with the students on 11th of Jan, just one day before annual SP Road walk. And this is the same intersection that we were talking about by the Dasgota Junction. And
there's nothing visible on the screen. Are you showing something?
yeah, it won't be for you, but it is on the live stream. I will not share it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But yeah, this is we are also kind of working with Balwantpur School of Architecture college students. We'll talk about that in the future in another live stream where we have a lot of stuff to show. And this is another fruitful activity that we have kind of been doing over the past couple of months. I don't know why this is, it has just blocked me from changing, like transitioning my screen.
I think with us we need to start winding also. You've gone
Yeah,
over
yeah,
one.
I mean, yeah, the presentation is, yeah, okay, one more thing was there. Uh, okay. The last thing that we had to discuss was our
I would
event.
just
Okay,
I
please.
would just like to add about the SP Road program.
Yeah,
Sorry, I was unable to just speak when you had brought it up. But yes, I've been I've joined Walking Project specifically for the SP Road program, and I agree with Vedant and Rishi both. Like if we just take up in the start, like if we take up junctions of SV Road and we prepare the database and even this little design that it needs to have, I think it could be a good benchmark that the rest of the streets can follow. So yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Right now, I don't know what my OBS is actually doing to me. I simply can't change my scenes in this. But अभी presentation चालू है तो you are going to be able to see only that. I
On the
just,
chat, Rohan Mishra has been quite active and others. I don't know.
yeah,
I'm just seeing. And audio is coming an issue. We'll solve that. I don't know why the audio is a problem.
I will have to do a kind of a, I'll have to see, check the live stream later on when I sit on it and then try to understand kitna level pe the volume is good. We did kind of a rehearsal this morning and it seemed fine back then. I don't know if it is a problem right now. But
I'm
yeah,
just flagging a, sorry, comment from Neeraj. He's
yeah,
saying traffic islands as holding areas do become problematic if overdone because obviously signal priority for pedestrians isn't given, which means we have to wait for two signal cycles to cross one road.
yeah.
So I'm not understanding what he's trying to say. We'll later have a chat with him. But traffic islands as holding areas do become problematic
No,
if overdone. So
so
what
if
is this
you,
overdone? I'm not understanding overdone.
yeah, so if you think of any intersection in London or any intersection in Netherlands, what they generally do is they don't have traffic islands at all. Like slip lane hota hi nahi. You just have to wait at the signal and take the entire 90-degree turn. So over
Got it.
there,
Got it.
you have to cross it. what you have to do is just wait at that intersection, एक बार पूरा cross कर लो. Whereas if you have traffic islands, you have to go to the traffic island.
Yeah, got it, got it.
That is what he's
Perfect.
trying to
An ideal situation is to have a signal crossing that is so compact where you can cross in one go. Traffic
वो
island
तो
should actually be on only very wide roads. So
Yeah.
हो गया. I mean, so that is, of course, अभी तो we are aspiring for much, much lower stuff and not getting it. So that is,
aspirational तो होना पड़ेगा ऋषि, aspirational तो होना पड़ेगा.
ठीक है, ठीक है. Do away with traffic islands now.
There's many in London. Okay. I have seen a policy where they have tried to like remove all of these traffic islands in Raj. There is a policy कि traffic island होना ही नहीं चाहिए, and they're moving towards removing traffic islands and just making those intersections sharper.
Chalo, Rohan is leaving, but yeah,
Yeah.
Neeraj will have a better chat on this, and
We'll
maybe
call
we'll
you on
bring
a
in
live
mind.
stream. Next live
No,
stream if
no.
you are
I
available.
mean, and Vedant, just imagine Vedant and Ashwari. I'm imagining that we remove the left turn and Baida's Buddha chalk. I mean, no way that's happening, boss. No way. I mean, imagine giving that whole space for pedestrians. No way. We'll get thrown out of the city. We'll get lost with
Yeah,
taking the left.
definitely.
Pack
VMC
up and
guys
leave the
will
city.
VMC guys will constantly say site conditions, quote unquote site conditions don't allow this.
No way that is happening. We have to live with traffic islands.
Yeah. But yeah, the last activity, which was like going chronologically backwards, in January we were at Mudde Ki Baat. This was an event hosted at Indian Education Society's by Indian Education Society in Dadar East, and we were on the panel. She was on the panel where we discussed a bunch of stuff, and it was quite nice actually. I think,
I don't think it was quite nice.
I mean, yeah, you can elaborate on that. It's a free
I mean,
stream.
we didn't come to the Buddha in my complaint. The Mudde ki baat mein, the Buddha was kind of given a backseat, but that's okay. I mean, it's good we went there and 100, 200, I think college students were there and they got to see some good case studies. But again, what happens is if you don't do your timing properly and if it starts late, I think the program started, then towards the end everything gets rushed. But yeah, it was good to be there and
It's
we
also
met
a
Professor
critique about.
Pitkar.
It is also a critique
Yeah.
about like all of these events in Mumbai, right? It feels like whenever you're going to all of these events, you're starting from scratch. It's not building upon the knowledge base is not building upon itself.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
every
And
time,
and also the misallocation of
That's a
resources,
pan
Vedant.
India problem, Vedant. That's a
It's a
pan
pan
India
India
problem.
problem. Also, Zora, this is such a, I mean, I'm not being critical of IEC at all. I'm saying an architecture college has part of its annual event or something it has to do with, can bring up so many resources, a big auditorium. And here we are talking of having no resources for doing actual meaningful design share with. So there's a, and this is not just them. There are 10 architecture colleges doing the same discussion. Then there are 10 other civils. But where resources should get directed is a major.
We
I mean,
don't
as
have a culture really of architecture colleges working on city problems really.
I
They
remember
have
see,
you
talking to
started
this.
doing it now
no,
in the
no.
last few
So
years.
again, Zora, this is a point which I keep bringing out. Who has skin in the game? Very few people have skin in the game, right? Skin in the game is people like us who are just kind of, I mean, just going into it. Like I keep saying for SV Road, we're not walking SV Road on a daily basis. Why the hell are we so worked up about it? Or walking project in general for MMR.
I am walking
So,
SV Road every day, Rishi.
no, you are walking SV Road absolutely every day. I mean, that's just to not kind of diminish the point. But I'm saying resources misallocation is a separate 2 hour live stream. I'll stop here.
Yeah, so basically what Rishi is saying is donate at walkingproject.org/resources slash donate. Uh, but yeah, I mean, the event itself was quite nice. We got to see a lot of very nice presentations from a lot of urban designers. This point that Rishi mentioned reminded me of this conversation I had with this Australian gentleman, NRI, not a Australian, but he mentioned that Sydney has some kind of a catalyst program where they inculcate all of these where they bring in startups like a walking project or some urban design firm within their municipality, and they fund all of these things in house, which is a great thing, I think, which they can actually do with a lot of these architecture colleges. Keep, I mean,
The Mumbai Architects Group are talking about it,
acha.
though.
Yeah.
Just FYI, I don't know where it will lead, but maybe.
So my big point is you need to direct resources towards people who are paranoid about outcome. That's it. Paranoid about outcome, about change on the ground. But otherwise, you can do dime a dozen conversations, and we that was my anger at BCCI also with Shri Shanki others. I mean, people need to be paranoid about outcome. Simple as that. Are we better off than last year or worse off? Better off than a decade back or worse off? And one of the big reasons why we are worse off is that we're not supporting people who are getting into the thick of the thing and wanting to bring about outcome. So
Yeah,
I don't think any of the architecture colleges, students, etc. It's a good theory. It is a as part of the syllabus needs to be taught, etc. But it's being taught in 10 syllabuses. And where is the outcome? No outcome on the ground. The reason is that nobody's sitting in the BMC office at all. Everybody's in their own this thing. BMC is operating. Everybody's in their silos. So we need to break those silos. That's a huge effort, and it's like get out of those bureaucratic check boxes.
yeah. Definitely some reform is needed in the administrative part as well. Like a
It's
lot of
social
things
thinking.
stem
Social
from there.
thinking. I think as a species, we don't understand. I mean, that's where my love for nature, ecology comes in. You look at trees. Look at the return on investment here. How much are they taking from you? I mean, they're taking nothing. You even concretize their bases. Where are they getting their water? Where are they getting their nutrition? Nothing. And they're giving so much more. And here we have hundreds and 200s and 500s of crores to spend and no outcome to show at all. So something species has to, the human species itself has to learn from nature of being, I mean,
Mumbai
efficiency
guys,
and return on investment. No, no, India, USA. My good friend Elon, what he's doing over there is great stuff. And just shut that
I
down
would disagree.
organization, yeah.
I would
Well,
disagree, but let's not
yeah,
get into that. But I mean,
let's not.
my main point is ki, Pune
Yeah,
and Bangalore, my two visits in the past 2 months,
yeah.
trees, this is not an issue. Lack of trees is not the same issue as it is in Mumbai. The tree coverage is so amazing over there. In general, Bangalore is doing decent work with Tender Shore. I think among the three cities, Pune is doing the best work if I want to compare. And I think it is a Mumbai specific issue. Like I wanted to make this tweet, I'll probably also make it in the coming couple of days. Ki Mumbai ka population and Mumbai's politicians seem to have this kind of a weird contempt about the people in the city.
That is
In the
Suburban Mumbai, though,
abs.
Vedant,
No, no. Even
mostly.
island. I think
even
it's
I
fine. Even island. If you go to island city, also there is problems and people are complaining. But you're right. I mean, comparatively, the suburban Mumbai. I mean, and this is almost
That's why it
sadistic,
doesn't bother
psychopathic.
them, no? Because A
Yeah.
Rod is very good.
no, recently it has actually kind of deteriorated.
Yeah.
I mean, it's another whole
Relative.
discussion.
Everything is relative.
Their deterioration is where we want to start.
Yeah, yeah. Their iteration is when we want to start.
Hmm.
Hmm. Acha, on trees, yesterday I saw a beautiful tree at Philip Arley West. I'm making a post out of it. I'll share it. Beautiful Audumber tree, and all the leaves had fallen. What a beautiful tree. Oh, just outside Padla West. So separately, I'll share that.
Sure. Okay, I think we
Yeah,
can
would love
start
to
Is,
see.
winding up.
yeah.
Yeah,
Is there anybody on the live stream or it's only us?
there are five
But
people now.
great
Okay.
conversation.
Yeah,
Vishal is
thanks,
saying
thanks a lot.
opinion only backed by anecdotes. I guess I don't know. I can't really say Pune and Bangalore. I found them generally.
No, no, I have stats also. Don't worry.
Arey wah, nice.
I can give you. Don't.
Acha, I don't know if Vishal is talking to Neeraj or something is happening in the live stream, but I
Yeah, yeah.
encourage this
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
chat.
yeah. I'm also curious about this comment on opinion only backed by anecdotes.
Huh.
We'll hopefully have a separate chat with the Vishal and Neeraj.
Yeah, yeah,
Chalo.
yeah.
Great. Thanks a
Thanks a
lot,
lot,
guys.
guys, for
Thank you.
joining.
So
Thanks a lot,
thank
Zora, for
you.
being.
Bye bye.
Zora has
Thanks
Yeah,
for
also,
having me.
right.
by the way, Zora has also been a supporter in terms of funding us for a long time consistently.
Let's
And
stop on the funding part.
yeah, huge
But
thanks.
yeah, thanks. Yeah,
Thank you,
thank
Zora,
you.
for joining.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye
And the
bye.
design share it we have to do on Zora. That's the only takeaway from here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye.
I'll be in touch with you for it.
Yeah, Aishwarya and Zora need to work together. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Chalo. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Chalo. Bye, guys. Thanks a lot for coming on to the stream. It was really enjoyable hosting this. It was less stressful than I expected it to be. And we'll kind of see you guys on next Friday, 8 p.m., same time. Try to keep us, try to make us punctual and be at 8. Hopefully, we start at 8 and not 8:04. Let's see. But yeah,
Yes.
bye bye.
And
Thanks a lot.
please cut us some slack for the technical issues.
Yes, please cut us some slack. Chalo.
Thank